Looking forward to getting back to work with this group with practice this evening. Challenged our group. We're going to find out a lot about ourselves individually and collectively. Who this group is in terms of the way that we respond after a really tough performance on Saturday. Have to respond. Have to focus on the things we can control in our process. It's going to require a great week of practice. Going to West Lafayette against a Purdue team that is a much better football team than their record would indicate. Very talented on both sides of the football. Have had some transition on the offense side of the ball as an identity on offense. Purdue coming off a bye week, we're going to have to do a great job of identifying, how they're looking to attack us in game. Not sure who's going to be starting at quarterback for them, but it's going to require a great week of preparation. And, I'm excited to see the way that this group is going to respond in our preparation tonight.
Dave?
But did you sense any kind of different reaction from your team this week after the game? Were they angrier, more frustrated than maybe the week before?
Yeah, I think after every loss, Dave, there's certainly a level of frustration and disappointment. But this week, you could tell there was a level of, a level of we didn't play up to our standard, didn't give ourselves a chance in the fourth quarter, and really let things snowball on us in the third quarter. And I think you had a group that was quiet, humble, and recognized that we can and need to play a lot better.
Coach, has there been any consideration of handing the reins of the offense over to Mike Ray or Ryan Helinski? And if not, what do you see in Jack that makes you confident he can turn this around?
Yeah, Jack Lausch, is our starting quarterback, will be our starting quarterback against Purdue. The things that make me confident, in that decision are the way that Jack prepares, the way that he competes, and we need to. He needs to play better, but we also need to play better around him. We need to play better in the other two phases of the game as well. There are some critical mistakes, whether it be allowing our opponent to extend drives, penalties that lead to kicking off from the 20. Any offense that has to start, 3 straight drives from inside their own 10. That's a difficult situation to put offense and a quarterback in. And Jack knows he needs to play better, but very confident, that he'll do everything in his power to make sure that happens.
Coach, you talked about playing better around Jack. Obviously, the receiver room's taken a hit with injuries, first with AJ, then with Bryce. What have you seen from guys like Frank Covey and Calvin Johnson that gives you confidence in this receiver room's depth? Yeah, no, I thought CJ had his best game of the year. Big third down conversion. Frank opens up the game with a great catch and some yards after contact, doing a good job. Blocking. Hayden Elegon came in and did some really, really good things for us. Donnie Gray has a big catch late. Got to continue to find ways to get AJ the football. I'll talk about a warrior. I mean, a competitor, a dude that just found a way to get himself back out on the field for Saturday. I mean, I know AJ didn't start his career here, but man, he's the ultimate Wildcat. So much respect and appreciation for that guy, and we're excited to get Bryce back. Obviously, having Bryce back, he plays such a key role in our passing game, and there's things that we can do to help Jack out when it comes to simplifying pictures for him, helping him in protection, giving him a little bit more time. And you could tell, after that first interception, Jack, the second he let it go, knew that it was a poor decision, and I think that affected him the rest of the day. Jack will flush it. He'll be better this week. Henry?
Coach, could you go into detail of why Bryce couldn't go last Saturday, and he confirmed that he'll be back this week?
Yeah, won't go into detail other than the fact that, it's just been something that, Bryce has been battling through it. It's kind of been nagging, and was able to get himself to game day, and this week he just, wasn't able to. Hopeful he'll be back this week. You know, we'll know a lot more as we hit the midpoint, but you know, this is something that, you know, Bryce has been dealing with here for a few weeks. He's been battling, and just couldn't make a go of it this past Saturday.
What did you see in Drew Wagner that gave you the confidence to put him back there?
Yeah, gosh, he's one of the first guys out to practice every single day. You know, catching extra punts, knowing that, you know, he's our third string punt returner for Wisconsin with AJ and Bryce both full go, and just stayed ready. You know, all of a sudden did not feel comfortable putting AJ back there catching punts, coming off of what he had come off the previous week, and then Bryce isn't available, and we're having conversations of how we're going to manage as a staff. And I mean, that young man doesn't blink, and he doesn't blink because of the way that he prepares. The confidence comes from incredible preparation, and early on we were just telling him to fair catch it and, you know, possess the football, and decided to, you know, after a few catches, give him an opportunity to let it rip. And you know, Paul Creighton said, I've never seen a look in a young man's eyes as excited as Drew Wagner was for that opportunity. And man, did he capitalize on it. Drew Wagner, relatively local kid from the Milwaukee area, walked on, and since the day he stepped on campus, he's done nothing but all the right things and competed. I think that's just a small glimpse of what we have to look forward to in the future with Drew.
Matt, in your assessment of Zach Lujan as offensive coordinator, what do you think he's brought to the offense, and has he met your expectations from when you made the hire?
Zach absolutely has met expectations. Our production on offense haven't met our expectations, and we're working tirelessly to get that fixed, not only in the short term but in the long term. But very confident in the man that we have running our offense. All of us are very aware that the production is nowhere close to where it needs to be, and there's a lot of components of that, but very confident that both short term and long term, you know, Zach's the right guy to do that.
And as a follow-up, you mentioned long term there. You know, if things don't improve, would there be any consideration of a change at offensive coordinator?
No, absolutely not.
Jake.
Coach, given Drew's performance on punt returns this past weekend, do you expect to continue utilizing him as a punt returner going forward?
We'll you know, we'll see how the health of AJ and Bryce is, but certainly something to consider as we're evaluating, you know, the health of those guys. And Drew's proven that he can do it at the biggest stage in the biggest arena. You know, we'll at the end of the day, you know, we just got to continue to evaluate how we can get the best guys on the field to put us into situations to win football games. And as you get late into the year, injuries are part of college football, part of the Big Ten. But Drew will step up to the plate in whatever role, whether it's running down and kickoff, returning punts, you know, out at wide receiver. He's someone that we have a lot of confidence in.
Charlie? Coach, statistically, Purdue is one of the worst power conference defenses. How important is it for this particular game to be a bounce back for the offense?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's critical that we bounce back in all three phases coming off the performance that we had on Saturday. You know, defensively, you know, they're going to play a lot of man coverage, a lot of single high defense, and then they do a good job of disguising their big zone off of that. You know, and we're going to have to find ways, you know, to find efficiency in whatever way we can find it, and then make sure that, you know, as we're creating first downs and efficiency, find some explosive plays that can lead to putting touchdowns on the board. I would, you know, I think one thing that we have to do a great job of as a staff and as a team and as a program is not allow stats or a record to lull us to sleep. This is a very talented football team. You know, Coach Walters and his staff have been going through some transition. Ryan's a very football or defensive-minded, great defensive coach that, you know, has been calling the offense here for the last couple weeks. But they're very capable on the defense side of the ball, and you know, we need to be at our best, and we need to bounce back on offense and in all three phases.